Imagine waking up 5 years from now in the same place you are today, same job, the same self-investment is the single most powerful decision you can ever make because it pays dividends for a lifetime and never loses value. Most people spend years chasing external rewards, money, status, possessions, believing those things will secure happiness or freedom. Yet the most reliable way to create lasting change is to direct energy inward, developing the mind, character, and abilities that create those external results naturally. When you invest in yourself, you are essentially building a personal engine for success that continues to produce long after the initial effort is made. Think of every hour you dedicate to learning a new skill, reading a meaningful book, or practicing a valuable craft as a deposit into an account that compounds daily. The growth might seem slow at first. You may not see a dramatic return after a single day or even a month. But just as a small seed eventually becomes a towering tree, steady, consistent investment in your personal development multiplies far beyond what you can imagine. Over time, you become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more capable of creating opportunities where none seem to exist. This kind of investment isn't limited to formal education, though that can certainly be part of it. It includes sharpening communication skills, nurturing creativity, strengthening emotional intelligence, and cultivating discipline. It might mean taking an online course to stay ahead in your field, learning a new language to broaden your perspective, or simply setting aside quiet moments to reflect and clarify your goals. Each of these actions enriches your mind and expands the range of what you can achieve. Investing in yourself also builds resilience. Life will inevitably bring challenges, career setbacks, unexpected expenses, personal losses. Money can be lost, markets can crash, but the abilities and understanding you've developed remain with you. When you've committed to growth, you respond to difficulties not with panic but with problem-solving confidence. You become someone who can rebuild, adapt, and even thrive when circumstances change, because your primary wealth is internal. Time is a crucial part of this equation. Every day presents a choice. Spend it on fleeting distractions or use it to sharpen your tools. The world is filled with noise and quick entertainment, but those who rise above are deliberate about where their attention goes. Even an hour a day devoted to self-improvement, reading, exercising, learning, accumulates into hundreds of hours a year. That is the equivalent of entire college semesters of focused growth created without anyone else's permission. Another benefit of self-investment is the ripple effect it creates in relationships and opportunities. As you become more knowledgeable and capable, you naturally attract like-minded individuals, mentors, collaborators, friends, who recognize your commitment to excellence. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open, not because luck suddenly appears, but because you have become the kind of person who notices and seizes them. Your growth inspires those around you, raising the standard of everyone you encounter. This is not a quick process or a one-time event. It is a lifelong practice of treating your own potential as something worthy of care and resources. Whether through education, skill development, health, or mindset, the effort you put into yourself today sets the stage for every achievement tomorrow. Unlike external investments that can fluctuate with markets or circumstances, the value of a well-developed mind and a strong character only increases. When you commit to continual learning and personal growth, you create an asset no one can take away, a foundation for success, fulfillment, and freedom that lasts for a lifetime. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your life. Everything you experience, success, failure, relationships, opportunities, flows first through the channel of your mind. If you believe you are capable, you begin to see possibilities where others see walls. If you convince yourself that growth is beyond reach, even an open door looks like a locked gate. Mindset is not a vague concept. It is the silent architect of every action you take and every habit you build. Consider how a single belief can redirect an entire life. A person who thinks, "I am capable of learning anything I need to know," approaches challenges with curiosity. They read more, ask better questions, and take calculated risks. Over time, these small choices compound into big results, new skills, new opportunities, and a wider horizon. In contrast, someone who repeats, "I'm not good at this," shuts down the very pathways that could lead to growth. They avoid challenges, and by avoiding them, they never develop the strength or insight that challenges bring. Your internal dialogue is not harmless background noise. It is the steering wheel of your decisions. If you catch yourself saying, "I can't," pause and replace it with, "How can I?" That small shift moves you from a closed mindset to a creative one. The words you speak to yourself become the reality you live. Over weeks and months, That shift in language transforms not only your mood, but also the actions you take every single day. Mindset also determines how you view failure. People with a fixed mindset see failure as proof of inadequacy. They retreat, protect their ego, and often give up. But those with a growth mindset understand that failure is simply feedback. It's a teacher in disguise. Instead of feeling defeated, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" That question alone separates those who stagnate from those who thrive. This is not about blind positivity. It's about training your mind to interpret challenges as opportunities and to see effort as the path to mastery. When you understand that abilities can be developed through dedication and learning, you stop waiting for talent to save you and start building your own capabilities. You realize that persistence, not natural brilliance, is the force that moves mountains. Changing your mindset is a deliberate practice. It starts with awareness, listening to your inner voice and noticing how often it leans toward doubt or possibility. It continues with discipline, feeding your mind with books, mentors, and conversations that expand your perspective. Each time you replace a limiting thought with an empowering one, you strengthen mental muscles that once felt weak. Over time, these new mental habits become second nature. The impact of a strong, growth-oriented mindset is not limited to career or wealth. It touches every aspect of life. Relationships deepen when you approach them with openness and empathy. Health improves when you believe you can adopt better habits. Creativity flourishes when you allow yourself to experiment without fear of embarrassment. Every area of your life rises to meet the level of your thinking. In the end, reality bends to the quality of your thoughts. Your mindset shapes your daily choices, and those choices shape your destiny. Decide to master the way you think, and you will master the way you live. Struggles, same dreams gathering dust. That's the cost of ignoring the most important investment you'll ever make, yourself. Change doesn't arrive with luck, it arrives with choice. Continuous learning is more than simply taking another class or adding a certificate to your resume. It's a mindset that keeps you relevant, adaptable, and inspired in a world that never stops evolving. The moment you believe you know enough is the moment growth slows and opportunities quietly slip away. Knowledge is never static. Industries change, technology advances, and the skills that seemed essential yesterday may be obsolete tomorrow. The commitment to learn throughout life is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. Think of learning as an ongoing conversation with the world. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every thoughtful discussion you join adds a new layer to your understanding. It isn't just about formal education, it's about cultivating curiosity. Curiosity is the engine that pulls you toward new ideas and deeper insights. When you stay curious, you begin to notice connections between seemingly unrelated things. A business principle that applies to art, a science concept that explains a personal challenge. These connections spark creativity and open unexpected doors. Lifelong learning also builds resilience. When challenges arise, a well-fed mind has options. Suppose a new technology disrupts your career. If you have trained yourself to learn continuously, you will not panic. You will adapt. You will take a course, study a trend, or experiment with a new skill. You will be flexible, because learning has taught you that no situation is permanent and every obstacle hides a lesson. This adaptability is one of the most valuable traits in an unpredictable world. Another reason to keep learning is the confidence it creates. With every concept mastered and every skill sharpened, you develop a quiet assurance that you can handle more than you once thought possible. Confidence doesn't come from bravado, it comes from competence. When you've taken the time to understand a subject or practice a technique, you approach opportunities and challenges with calm determination. People sense that assurance and respond with trust, which can lead to leadership roles, collaborations, and new ventures. Continuous learning also deepens the quality of your daily life. It sharpens critical thinking, helping you make better decisions. It enhances empathy, because understanding different perspectives often comes from exploring literature, history, and cultures beyond your own. It even enriches your conversations with friends and family, turning small talk into meaningful dialogue. Learning fuels not only professional growth but personal fulfillment. The most effective learners create a rhythm for growth. They carve out time for reading, listening to insightful podcasts, taking online courses, or simply reflecting on experiences. They set small, achievable goals, reading 10 pages a day, practicing a new language for 15 minutes, or experimenting with a skill every weekend. Over time, these modest habits compound into remarkable expertise. You don't need to overhaul your life, you need consistency and intention. Ultimately, committing to lifelong learning is an act of respect for yourself, for your potential, and for the ever-changing world around you. It says you value growth over comfort and possibility over complacency. Each day becomes an opportunity to expand your perspective, strengthen your abilities, and prepare for challenges you can't yet see. By choosing to learn continually, you are not only investing in your career or your intellect, you are investing in the richness of your entire life. Health is the foundation upon which every other investment in life depends. Without physical strength and mental clarity, even the greatest ambitions collapse under their own weight. You can possess intelligence, wealth, and opportunity, but if your body is exhausted or your mind clouded, progress slows to a crawl. Taking care of your health is not a luxury reserved for the fortunate. It is a necessity for anyone who seeks to achieve meaningful goals. Think of it as the engine of your life. No matter how beautiful the vehicle or how grand the destination, you cannot reach it if the engine fails. Begin with the body because it is the vessel through which you experience every moment of existence. Daily movement is not merely about appearance, it is about energy, resilience, and longevity. Regular exercise strengthens muscles, supports the heart, and sharpens the mind. A brisk walk, a set of stretches, or a focused workout builds more than physical power, it develops discipline. Each time you choose to move rather than remain idle, you teach yourself the art of consistent effort. Over time, that consistency shapes your character and spills into every area of your life, from career performance to personal relationships. Nutrition is equally vital. Food is more than fuel, it is information for your cells, instructions for your body on how to function. A diet rich in vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains nourishes your organs and supports mental clarity. Processed foods and excess sugar, on the other hand, drain energy and cloud thinking. Choosing wholesome meals is not about rigid restriction, but about respect for the body that carries you through challenges and triumphs. Every meal is an opportunity to invest in sustained vitality rather than fleeting satisfaction. Sleep often becomes the first sacrifice in a busy life, yet it is the silent architect of health. During deep rest, your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and consolidates memories. Skipping proper sleep weakens immunity, dulls focus, and erodes emotional balance. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality rest is not laziness. It is strategic preparation. The hours you spend sleeping are not lost. They are invested, returning to you as sharper decision-making, steadier mood, and greater productivity. Mental health stands alongside physical wellness as an equal partner in success. Stress, left unmanaged, corrodes both body and spirit. Practice mindfulness, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a quiet walk to breathe. Protect your inner dialogue. The thoughts you nurture either strengthen or sabotage you. If necessary, seek professional guidance without shame. Caring for your mind is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. A resilient mindset equips you to handle adversity and continue advancing when others give up. Hydration, too, is a simple but often overlooked key. Water supports every cellular process, keeps joints supple, and aids concentration. Something as basic as drinking enough water can transform your energy levels and focus. Small actions, repeated daily, create profound results. When you view health as your greatest wealth, you start to see that every hour spent caring for your body and mind pays dividends across your lifetime. Energy becomes your competitive edge. Clarity sharpens your choices. Endurance allows you to stay the course when challenges arise. Investing in health is not separate from pursuing success. It is the very mechanism that makes success sustainable. You are the only person who can make this investment, and the return is a life lived with strength, purpose, and joy. Money touches every part of life, yet so many people treat it as something mysterious or even intimidating. To truly invest in yourself, you have to understand how money works, because financial literacy is the bridge between dreams and reality. It isn't about chasing wealth for its own sake. It's about creating freedom, security, and the ability to shape your own future without being at the mercy of chance or crisis. Think of money as a tool, not an enemy or an idol. When you know how to use it, it serves you. When you ignore it, it controls you. Start with awareness. Track what comes in and what goes out. Most people underestimate how small, repeated choices, an unnecessary subscription here, a daily habit there, quietly drain their resources. By simply noticing where your money goes, you regain power. That awareness is the first step to mastery. Saving is more than just putting cash in a jar. It is a declaration of independence. Every amount you set aside, no matter how small, is a seed of possibility. Over time, those seeds grow. Compound interest, earning interest on interest, is a force more powerful than most people realize. Even modest, regular savings can become significant when you give them time to work. The earlier you begin, the more time becomes your silent partner in growth. But saving alone isn't enough. You need to learn how to make your money grow. This is where understanding investments, stocks, bonds, businesses, real estate, comes in. Education here is vital. It doesn't mean risking everything on the latest trend. It means patient study, asking questions, and seeking trusted information before you act. Investments are not just for the wealthy. They are the pathway by which ordinary people build lasting security. Debt requires equal attention. Not all debt is bad. A mortgage that buys a home or a loan that funds education can be a strategic step forward. But high-interest consumer debt, credit cards, unnecessary borrowing, is like a hole in the bottom of your bucket. It robs your future to pay for today's impulse. Learn to distinguish between debt that builds and debt that burdens, and make choices that keep you in control. Financial literacy also includes understanding how to protect what you earn. Insurance, emergency funds, and a basic estate plan are not luxuries. They are shields against life's surprises. When you prepare for the unexpected, you prevent a temporary setback from becoming a lasting disaster. This foresight is a quiet but profound form of self-respect. Equally important is your mindset about money. Many grow up hearing that money is evil or that wanting more is greedy. Those ideas keep people small. Money itself is neutral. It is energy. It amplifies who you already are. In wise hands, it builds schools, feeds families, and funds dreams. See it as a servant for your highest values, not a master to be feared or worshipped. Ultimately, financial literacy isn't about hoarding wealth. It's about choice. It's the ability to decide where you live, what work you pursue, how you care for loved ones, and when you can give back. Without it, even high income can lead to stress and insecurity. With it, even moderate means can create a life of dignity and freedom. Learning how money works is not just a skill, it's an act of empowerment, a lifelong investment in your own independence and peace of mind. The relationships you choose to nurture have a profound influence on the direction of your life. Every person you allow into your inner circle becomes a subtle architect of your mindset, your habits, and even your sense of possibility. Human beings are wired for connection. We learn, grow, and find meaning through the people around us. That's why investing in meaningful relationships is not just a matter of companionship, it's a strategic decision that shapes your character and your future. Think for a moment about the people you spend the most time with. Their conversations, their attitudes, and their values seep into your daily thoughts like water soaking into soil. If they constantly speak about limitation, you will begin to feel confined. If they focus on ambition and resilience, you will start to feel capable of more than you imagined. This is not simply peer pressure, it is the quiet, consistent effect of proximity. We rise to the level of the company we keep. That's why it's worth every effort to surround yourself with individuals who inspire you to grow, who challenge you to think bigger, and who reflect the qualities you aspire to develop in yourself. Investing in relationships means giving as much as you hope to receive. It requires listening with genuine interest, supporting others when they face challenges, and celebrating their successes without envy. People remember how you make them feel. When you create a pattern of trust and encouragement, you build bonds that endure beyond transactions or convenience. These bonds become a source of wisdom when life tests you, a network of opportunities when you seek to expand, and a mirror that helps you see both your strengths and blind spots. It is equally important to recognize when a relationship drains rather than fuels your growth. Some connections are built on negativity, constant criticism, or the subtle erosion of confidence. Protecting your time and energy sometimes means stepping back from those who consistently pull you into cycles of drama or defeat. This isn't about judgment, it's about stewardship of your own potential. You cannot pour energy into your goals while continuously mending the leaks caused by unhealthy dynamics. Strong relationships are not built overnight. They are the result of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. A quick message to check in, a willingness to share knowledge without expecting something in return, or an offer to help when it's inconvenient. These gestures compound, just like any other investment. They create trust, and trust is the currency of lasting connection. As you invest in others, you also invest in yourself, because you learn empathy, patience, and the art of communication. In the professional world, these principles hold equal weight. Career success often grows out of relationships cultivated with sincerity and respect. Mentors appear when you show a genuine desire to learn. Collaborations flourish when people know they can count on you. Opportunities surface not through cold transactions, but through warm, authentic networks of people who believe in your character as much as your talent. Ultimately, investing in relationships means choosing to build a life enriched by mutual growth. It's about recognizing that no dream is achieved in isolation, and no personal transformation is complete without the influence of others. By seeking out people who elevate your thinking and by offering the same elevation in return, you create a circle of strength that carries everyone within it forward. The time and energy you give to building these connections become a foundation that supports every ambition, every challenge, and every stage of your journey. Time is the one resource every person receives in equal measure, yet it's the asset most carelessly spent. Unlike money, it cannot be earned back once it's gone. Every hour that slips away is an hour of potential growth, learning, or creation that can never be retrieved. Recognizing time as capital means understanding its true value. It is the currency of your life. How you choose to spend it determines the quality of your future. Many people treat time as if it were endless, drifting through days with no clear direction, but those who achieve meaningful success treat each moment like an investment. They weigh choices carefully, asking whether the next hour will bring them closer to their goals or simply vanish in distraction. Using time wisely begins with awareness. Most of us underestimate how much of our day disappears in small, unconscious habits. Scrolling through social media, watching mindless entertainment, or delaying important tasks. These activities might feel harmless in the moment, but over weeks and months, they compound into wasted opportunities. The first step toward valuing time is noticing where it goes. Tracking your hours, even for a single week, can reveal surprising patterns. You may find entire segments of your life slipping away without purpose. Once you see the truth, you can begin to redirect those hours toward what truly matters. Guarding time also requires setting boundaries. It means learning to say no when a request or invitation doesn't align with your priorities. Many people fear disappointing others, but constantly saying yes to obligations that drain your energy steals precious time from your own growth. By being intentional about your commitments, you create space for activities that build skills, strengthen relationships, and nourish your well-being. It's not selfish to protect your time. It's responsible stewardship of your most valuable resource. Discipline plays a central role in transforming time into progress. Discipline is not about rigid schedules or joyless routines. It's about creating systems that help you stay focused when motivation fades. Establishing a daily rhythm of productive habits, whether it's a set hour for reading, a consistent exercise routine, or a dedicated block for deep work, turns time into a powerful engine of growth. Small actions performed consistently will always outweigh bursts of occasional effort. A single hour of concentrated work each day may seem minor, but over a year, it adds up to hundreds of hours of focused creation. Equally important is the need to rest and renew. Valuing time doesn't mean filling every minute with busyness. True productivity includes periods of reflection, recovery, and play. A rested mind thinks more clearly, sees opportunities others miss, and approaches challenges with creativity. The goal is not to cram every second with activity, but to use your hours consciously, balancing effort with renewal so that every moment serves a purpose. Ultimately, treating time as capital transforms your perspective on life. You begin to measure opportunities not just in financial terms, but in hours and energy. When faced with choices, you ask, will this bring me closer to the life I want to live? Is this worth the investment of my finite hours? These questions sharpen your decisions and help you build a future shaped by intention, not chance. Each day you are given 24 hours of priceless currency. Spend it with care, and the compound interest will be a life of growth, achievement, and lasting fulfillment. Action is the bridge between imagination and achievement, the vital spark that transforms thoughts into reality. Many people spend their days collecting information, reading countless books, attending seminars, and planning their next move. They feel productive because they are preparing, but preparation without motion is only potential energy sitting idle. The real change begins when you take the first tangible step, however small or imperfect it may seem. Action does not wait for the perfect moment. It creates the perfect moment by setting events into motion that would otherwise never occur. Every dream, no matter how grand, begins with a single decision to act. That decision might feel insignificant at the time, writing the first sentence of a book, making a phone call to a potential mentor, or lacing up your shoes for that first run after years of inactivity. Yet these tiny movements carry immense power because they break inertia. Once you move, momentum starts to build. Momentum is a mysterious force. The more you act, the more you feel like acting. Progress, even in small doses, fuels motivation. It is far easier to adjust your direction while you are in motion than to start from a standstill. Action also sharpens clarity. You may believe you need a flawless plan before beginning, but the truth is that clarity often comes from action, not before it. When you experiment, you discover what works and what does not. You gain real-world feedback that no amount of daydreaming or research can provide. Mistakes become teachers, not failures. Each misstep refines your strategy, showing you how to move more effectively next time. Without these lessons, you remain trapped in theory, endlessly debating possibilities while the world moves on. Fear is the greatest barrier to action. Fear of failure, of judgment, of wasted effort. These whispers can paralyze even the most talented individuals. But fear loses its grip when you confront it with movement. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. The first time you speak up in a meeting, launch a project, or share your art, you may feel exposed. Yet with every courageous step, fear diminishes and your confidence expands. Confidence is not something you wait to acquire. It is something you earn by repeatedly showing up. Taking action also signals commitment to yourself and to others. When you act, you send a powerful message that you value your goals enough to risk discomfort. Opportunities often appear only after you demonstrate this seriousness. People notice effort. Doors open for those who are willing to step forward, even when the path is uncertain. By moving first, you attract allies, resources, and unexpected chances that remain invisible to the hesitant. Time, once gone, never returns. Days and weeks slip away whether you act or not. Waiting for inspiration or a guarantee of success is a quiet form of surrender. Instead, treat each day as a chance to inch closer to your vision. Even small, consistent actions, writing a single page, making one phone call, practicing a skill for 15 minutes, accumulate into remarkable results over months and years. In the end, action is not just about reaching goals. It is about becoming the person capable of achieving them. Every deliberate step shapes your character, discipline, and resilience. The journey itself transforms you, often more profoundly than the destination. Knowledge is potential, planning is preparation, but action is the catalyst. It is the force that turns potential into progress and dreams into a life you can truly call your own.